let's talk a little bit about what the ISA site contains that can help writers right now. I know a lot of people are asking about how they can get their work out there, how they can market themselves, how they can improve on their craft. So can we talk about, and Craig, maybe you can start this one, the value of ISA Connect, contests, getting feedback. Let's talk about all those things and the importance of putting yourself out there, getting that feedback, making your work better before you actually go out to sell or option your script or go make your movie or your series.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
I know, sorry.
I'll probably let Max and JERREN and Jordan dive into the feedback part of it because I think it's hugely critical. You could use contests to get great feedback. One tip that I've given before, and I think I stand by, is submitting the same draft to 3 competitions that are unrelated and order feedback from all 3 of them, because when you get the notes in, you're going to see some commonalities that are clear from 3 uniquely different people who are they're telling you what's missing from your screenplay, what's not working in your screenplay, and the stuff that really is working and that you can focus in on. The other side of that is there's going to be a lot of stuff in there. So, some readers do give opinions on how to tell your story. You can, a lot of times, just take it for what it is. If it's a good idea in there, you may hear a great little nugget that is just like, wow, that's a really good twist or a good turn or something I can do with the characters that will really elevate your story. So from the contest side, but as far as the ISA site in general, there's, I think a lot of people do struggle with, there's so much content on the site and they don't really know where to begin. That's part of why we're rebuilding, to make it a little cleaner, a little easier to kind of guide you depending upon where you are in your career, and to give you lean you into articles and advice and pro tips that may be more directly you may need. But you can go on the ISA Insider, which is kind of like a master sheet, a daily newspaper of what's going on in the industry, a whole lot of craft stuff from Max, our ISA Presents events, articles, the pro tips that Scott does with interviews with all these high-level executives and celebrity interviews. There's a lot of great information on there. And that's one of the things that's, for me personally, when we first started the ISA, I read every article that was posted. And I learned a ton for free. And now the ISA, we've collected it all for you. And so there's a ton of information on that page, the ISA Insider, that can guide you down the path of helping you improve your craft, which we'll repeat 1,000 times, is critical to getting your script in front of the right people. As far as like Connect is concerned, right now, the only way you can post success stories and add your awards is if you're a Connect member, but that's changing. Basic members will be able to add success stories and awards coming with the new site. But the upgrade is worth it too, because you have the ability to submit to writing gigs. You get to list on the ISA Writer Showcase, which is like Inktip or the Blacklist. We give away 4 free contest entry waivers throughout the year, to one in each quarter. One's coming up. If you're a Connect member now, you'll get a free one on February 1st. And then you'll get another in May and August and whatever the following month. So there's a lot of value. Plus you get discounts on everything, our development evaluations and our script notes, services. SHAYNA has we're now doing a pitch practice, which is another thing that everyone should spend time working on, because you don't want to be in that elevator with the executive and you have 90 seconds to tell your story. If your logline isn't legit and it's not in your head to the point of like knowing how to get it out right away, and you're not comfortable either, the more you practice this stuff, the more you will deliver when the moment arises, and they arise unexpected. You need to be prepared to pitch at a moment's notice. This is a real thing. You go to an event and you practice your pitch and you hope to have this conversation with the executive on the panel, but that never works out, right? It's like you go to these, when we get back to live events, it's hard to get that person's attention. So when they happen on your own time in your own space being out in the world, you have to be ready to pitch. So I would encourage everybody to practice, even if you're going to practice with another writer, another friend. So there's a lot to gain from using the free stuff on the site, and I encourage you all to just keep diving in and reading as much as you can.
Max,
I will
think
say
you wanted to something.
the ISA Insider could be a great homepage. You open up your web browser, and honestly, I'm not just, I work for the company, but it really has just so many, and we're pulling from other sources, news articles. It's not only just, things that we have written or have posted. It's a huge source that I hope if you have access to it, you're using it. It would be silly not to. It's basically what I do in the morning, flipping through all the news, looking at what's going on, avoiding crazy politics,
Just avoiding all of that nonsense. So Jordan and JERREN, will you guys talk about one, development evals? What exactly is a development eval? And then what, I guess from that, what happens when you're on the development slate? If you do, like what happens from a dev eval that can get you on the dev slate? And then how does that help you moving forward?
Sure. A dev eval is a very deep dive into your script. It's very great notes on your script, character structure, dialogue, all that stuff. So you get that already. It's part of the value. No matter what, the dev eval then goes, if it gets a recommend, it goes to us, but we tend to kind of look through all of them anyway, just to see if there's something there. If you do get on what we're looking for, I think the question is for the development slate. What are we looking for? What is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Felicity and me and Jordan and Reggie, we meet with production companies all the time and managers and all that stuff. And we basically get their remit, what they're looking for. So the development slate is our list of spotlight writers, I guess. I think it's now in the 180 something. And it is the writers that's our go-to first. When a production company says like, we're looking for this, we're going to go to our list of development slate writers and see what do we have there. Can we send it to them and make that connection? The side, and this is important for why we make selections for the development slate. The flip side of that is that all production companies are, we talk to a lot of big production companies. They have go-tos. They have first look deals. They have agents and managers sending them stuff. So they come to us for a pretty specific thing. And so we kind of have to fall in line with like what our brand as a company is. And we're a genre agnostic writer, and we don't really have like a whatever we're looking for, but we are looking for a certain type of voice and writer. And so it's kind of a two-way street. And then, so anyway, development evaluation, if it's a consider, we look at it, we go, this is great. I think this will fit with what we can help. We actually can have a spot where we can send this. Then we would talk to the writer, because a big thing for us is not just the great writing, but the great writer who can represent us in a way too, is able to pitch, is able to give their log line, is able to be good in a room, is able to convey not only their projects, but them as a writer. A big thing that we talk about with all of our development slate writers is your branding. It's not sci-fi or horror or comedy or whatever. It's the kind of stories that you want to tell, and you can tell those across different genres and across different milieu and pilots and features and all that stuff. So a big thing is then we meet with the writers. We develop good relationships with all of our writers on the developments.
Development Slate is kind of a de facto management company. We are the bridge between getting you repped, and that's what writers ask about pretty much every day of our lives. How do you get me repped? Getting on our development slate is how we can help, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Craig, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, it is that exciting. It's working. And so our goal is to expand that reach and get more writers connected to more agents and managers. It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do on your own, but we believe we're that bridge to it. So
yeah, to add to that, we do because we do have more managers coming to us too, looking for writers. But we also Shane is part of the team. Also, I should have mentioned that. And what we hear from these production companies and the trends we're kind of seeing and what people are looking for, we like to convey that to the development slate writers too. Here's what we're seeing in the industry. Here's what we're seeing get made. Here's what, if you want to kind of focus on projects like that, and then we can help develop those projects too. We're always here to kind of be a bouncing board. I wanted to add that because that's a big part of what we do as well.
You'll
feel like
know which writing gigs, they'll say vetted industry pro, verified industry pro. Those are the ISA posting on behalf of those mandates. And these are high-level executives from the top companies in the world, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, et cetera, et cetera. So submitting to those writing gigs, although it's difficult, like any job, when there's hundreds of people applying, don't give up on it. Because if you believe in your story and you've got the right logline, please improve the loglines, your loglines. That's a big part of us getting through it. We're looking through everything that comes through those gigs and for these pretty big companies. So,
yeah. I feel like lately a large part of the development slate is Jordan telling all the writers to be more brutal to their characters. So if you want that, come join us.
That's step one.